Hi everyone, it's Jill Lancet and I'm here for your Thursday night free card making tutorial. I've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is the fantastic joining offer at the moment. It's amazing. You get 70 items for free if you join. Now, to join, it's $169. It's been $169 for a while. And for that $160 that you normally would join, you get up to $235 worth of items of your choice from the catalogue or from the clearance rack or the online exclusives or the kits collection, whatever you want, up to $235. Well, you can still get that. But if you join before the 31st of this month, which is May 2024, you will also get this fantastic bonus, this starter kit special. It's $144 of extra goods. You get 5 full ink pads, the in-colour assortment pack of cardstock, the in-colour designer series paper, and the Stampin' Write markers in all 5 colours. Really fantastic offer at the moment. Plus you get free shipping. Plus you get a pack of catalogues to share with everybody. So in fact, effectively you're getting $379 worth of stuff for $169. Oh, that's pretty good. Think about that. Look, if you want to know more about that, go to my online store, jillancet.stampinup.net, and it will all be there for you. So that's that out of the way. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are the fabulous card sketches. Now, I've been featuring a card sketch per video, and they're on page 22 in the current catalogue. That's these little babies right here, 1 to 22. We did number 5 on Sunday night, and tonight I have 2 card sketch 6. Now this is more like card sketch 6, but I mixed it up a little bit. Nothing to say you have to put these things in the right order. Now I think this ribbon is retired, but these are samples for you. This is a jumping off point. This is a what will we call this? Like a little entree. You get a little entree and then you go further. So this is card sketch number 6. Now, I just want to tell you how I've done this. And basically, this would be a great stash buster card because you're using little pieces. You're using little pieces of the designer series paper. So what I have done here, and I'm basing this on this one here, the red one. It's a basic card base, whatever your country is, matte 1 in this beautiful red Be Mine, I think it's called Be Mine paper. I don't know what it's called. But these, I've just gotten some scraps that I had. I've cut all of these up 7.4 centimetres, 7 by 4 centimetres. Or if you're using the US measurements, it would be 3 inches by 1.5. I've popped a 2-inch punch there. I've got some ribbon. And look, just whatever gems and jewels I had by way of, yeah. And you can step it up a little bit. This one's got a little banner on it. Yeah, but that is card sketch number 6. So nobody said that those 3 panels have to be straight. I like this one better. So, yeah, jumping off point. Look at the sketches, get an idea of where you want to go with that, and then make it your own. Use whatever paper you like, whatever stamp set you like. But, yeah, that is card sketch number 6. So the details for that will be in the description below. So, yeah. Okay, I hope you're liking this series with the card sketches. Sometimes seeing the card sketch itself is not everything to everybody. Some people need to see visual samples of it, and that's what I'm hoping to bring with this little series of card sketches. Okay, now the card we're making tonight is called Double Swing Gatefold Card. Now, I was just, looking through Pinterest. I think Pinterest is probably my greatest source of inspiration. And I saw one by Frenchie Stamps. Now, her blog is frenchiestamps.com, and she is an American demonstrator. She's French speaking, but she's been a demonstrator for a very long time, and I have followed her for a very long time. Now, she does have a project sheet that you can use if you're using the US letter size. I haven't bothered to do that because I'll give you the link to Frenchie's and you can check out the measurements there, and my measurements will be in the description below. So now I've done a fair bit of this. I've done quite a bit of the preparation for this. I haven't got a card to show you, a finished card, but we're going to do that together. So just bear with me while I get out all the bits and pieces. Now, I made myself a template because it's often tricky going from US size to A4 metric size. So I like to make a bit of a prototype, which I did, and then I made a template. Now, Frenchie says, once you've made the first one, they're quite easy to make. Well, that is true. But if you have to work out the measurements first, it can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to go through all the bits and pieces with you right now. So I have an envelope. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a bit of Designer Series paper on the envelope. This is just a scrap that I had left over. So I'm just going to mark this and pop that down one side. I quite often like to do this. So a bit of a scrap that I had left over. Now, normally something like that you might want to put in the card, but this card has got it all going on, folks. I kid you not. So I'm going to just glue that on. That is the first thing we're going to do. Now, let me just turn that music down. I'm pre-recording this tonight because I've got to do something later on this evening. And it's still a little bit early, so the kids next door may be a little bit noisy. But that's kids. So I like to have a bit of music in the background. Just sort of, who's kidding? They're not going to cover the sound of squealing kids, are they? And it's lovely to hear, normally. So that's our envelope. Doesn't that look lovely? Something just fell down, frightened the crap out of me. That's the envelope, and it really looks lovely with just that little splash of colour on it. So I'm going to pop that up there. When I'm looking for it, it's up there. Now, you'll need your paper trimmer. This one is a really good one. This one is probably one of the best. It's the Stampin' Up! One because it's got a scoring blade as well as a cutting blade. So it dispenses with the need to have a separate scoreboard. You can use just your trimmer for all of those sorts of things. And we're going to be doing both today. We're going to be trimming and cutting. So I'm just going to run through the things that we need before we get into that. But I just wanted you to be aware of that. Now, the beautiful paper that I've chosen today is called the Delightful Floral. Now, this is an online exclusive item. Now, I just want to show you the beautiful patterns. I've been chopping this up and cutting bits and pieces out of it, but the beautiful colours and colours that, I would be a little bit hesitant to put together, like, this. I think it's Calypso Coral and Berry Burst and Gorgeous Grape. They're very beautiful, but the back of them is just as lovely because it's like a watercolour wash. And you've got big prints, little prints. You've got greenery. Look at that colour. Can't beat Pretty Peacock if you ask me. Yeah, so lots and lots of beautiful designs in these papers. And yeah, just colourful, lovely, bright. So I'm just going to pop those back in the folder. Just bear with me. I put them in these big 12 by 12 page protectors because, yeah, they're a little bit sturdier than the packaging. So that's what I've done. I've fussy cut a couple of pieces out. That's a spare. Now I'm going to go through this, and don't worry, I will have a project sheet for you to look at. So the first thing I want to show you is the card base itself. Now this is rather an unusual measurement. It's 24.2 centimetres by 10.5. So it's the standard width of a card, but it is 24.2 centimetres. Now, Frenchie has the US sizes. So if you want to go and have a look at her demonstration, her measurements, her project sheet or whatever, I will put a link down below. So I've cut out some of those. Then we need 2 pieces, and these are my templates, okay? So that was our piece. Now we need 2 pieces that are 9 by 7, 9 by 7.5. 9 by 7.5. We need 2 pieces that are 9 by 7. Just 2 pieces of the Berry Burst. All of the cardstock is in exactly the same colour. It just helps to make the card flow better. Then we need 2 more pieces of the cardstock, 5.5 by 7.5, all in the details, okay? Then we need some designer series paper. Those again will be in the details down below. And when we go to put this together, all will be revealed. And yeah, it looks a little bit weird at the moment, but yeah, all will be revealed. So the first thing I want to do is to take my card base. So this is 10 centimetres by 24.2, and I've already cut this. So I want to take my paper trimmer, and I want to pop it in here, and I want to score this. I want to take this over to 5 and score it. So I'm going to score that. Then I'm going to take it over to 2.5, and I'm going to score that. Now I want to turn that around and do exactly the same thing. Go to 5 and score it, or you could do it the other way, 2.5 and then score it and then go over to 5. Just depends how you want to do it. Okay, so there we go. Now that's roughly an inch. Okay, you're looking at about an inch there. So this is our card base. So I've scored those two, 2.5 and 5, 2.5 and 5. Now what I want to do is I want to put this in vertically so that the short end is up here, and I want to put it at 9. So that's about 1.5 centimetres. And I'm going to cut from the outside edge to that first score line, just in a straight line, okay? So, and then I'm going to turn it around and do exactly the same thing. But I want them both on the same edge, okay? So 9, and I want to cut to that first score. There we go. Now, I think you can see that there. Now with my snips, I want to go from the second score diagonally across to that cut. It's just a straight cut. Now don't be too nervous. Rest your scissors on there and just line that up. Now if your first cut has not gone all the way to the score line, just complete it. So you've got this little slope and then a step. So we're going to do it on this side as well, from the top of the second score line to where the cut ends at the first score line. So just going to cut straight down. There we go. So that's scrap. So we have this. Now that is our card base, and I'm going to pop that over there because the next two pieces that you're going to work on are the two pieces that are 9 by 7. Now I've done 9 by 7.5. I'll get it in a minute. So I've done one. So with the long side going lengthways, or the short side going across, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to score at 5 and then move it over, score it at 5 and then move that over to 2.5. Now I've already done one. Okay, I've already done one. So we want to do exactly the same thing, only this time it's 9 centimetres. We want to measure that first cut at 7.5. So I'm going to do that now, 7.5. I'm just going to cut down to that first score line, and I can kind of see it from here. And then I'm going to do the same thing, put my scissors at the top of the second score and just cut straight down in a diagonal manner. So I've got these two funny looking pieces. Now we can pop all of this together. We're going to need our bone folder. So we want these scores to be really, really good. So first thing I'm going to do is just score them, make sure they line up at the bottom, give that a really good score, and then have this one come back like a concertina on itself. Okay. So now I'm going to turn them back the other way and I'm going to give them another good score. Okay, so we've got these funny little pieces. I'm going to do the same thing with this. So I'm going to fold the first one in and I'll fold it straight back over and then do the same with this one here. Okay, so I've got those two now. Now with our card base, we're going to do exactly the same thing as we just did then. We're going to fold the first one in, make sure it lines up at the bottom here now. Okay, so I'm folding that one, I'm folding this one back. I just want to make sure that that lines up. Yep, it does. And then I'm going to fold them back again. Right, and the same at this end here. Just make sure it lines up and it's straight. There we go. And we'll fold this one back on itself. Now, regardless of what order you do this in, it isn't that complicated at the end of the day. The rest of it is now just construction. So we've got our little card base like this. We want these two front flaps to be folded outward like that. Okay. So we'll give them a nice good burnish. Okay, so that is our card base. These two pieces are the mechanism. Okay, now again, we want these two pieces to fold out. So they have to fold in opposite directions so that when they face one another, they open out like that. Okay, so all I'm going to do is glue that onto there, glue this piece onto this piece. So it's an extension piece now. It's an extension piece. So I'm going to put the glue on here. Okay, I'm going to put the glue. Now you don't want too much. You don't want this oozing out everywhere. So just be aware. And you want this, the tallest piece, to be glued onto that piece so that this piece opens out like that. Okay, so I'm just going to open that out and then open this one out and lay that down on top of it like that. Now it's at this point you may want to check that that is straight. So you can always just line that up with the bottom of the card. And it looks pretty good to me. So now we've got this extension piece, whereas before we just had this one piece. Now we have this extension piece coming out like that. I'm going to snip that off because that's annoying me. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so we've got that now. We're going to do exactly the same thing with this side. So remember, we want this, the smallest part, to be the pull-out part. We want this part to glue to the same size part. So the easiest way is to open them both out, have them going like that, and pop some glue on here, just like this. And then lay this onto it. Again, if you feel the need to have to stand that up to get the base straight, that's a good idea to do it around about now. So there we are. We've got this card with these, dare I say wings? I want to say wings. They're wings. Okay, so that's that. Now let's just let that sit for 2 seconds because I've already cut out a piece of this beautiful designer series paper. Now the measurements for this card, for the metric card, is 13.5 by 10, and then I have a piece of basic white which is 10 centimeters by 7.5. Now I'm going to stamp on this and then we're going to pop this together. So what I did was I got some of the beautiful new stamps from this new stamp set called Friends for Life. It's beautiful. So it's got a few different messages, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make my own message. So I've written, thank you for being a friend. So it's quite, when you put them all together, it's quite a big sentiment. So I've got this set up on a stamping platform. I've already set it up for this sized piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to put a couple of magnets. I don't know whether they're going to interfere. Nope, they're fine. They can go up a bit actually. And I'm stamping this in the beautiful Berry Burst. So I'm tying it all in with the cardstock. So I'm going to ink this up. Now, the great thing about a stamping platform, if you don't get it right the first time, you just keep doing it until you're happy with it. So, yeah, I'm just going to give that a second. I'm just going to have a drink. Okay, Now, give that a second for the ink to actually absorb into the cardstock. And let's have a look. Beautiful. I think we could stand to do that again. So we'll just do it again. Now, I just lined them up so that they would all fit nicely in with one another. And yeah, we'll see how we go this time. I just thought it was nice. And then, after I chose it, I was just singing the theme song from the Golden Girls. I think that's good enough. What do you think? Beautiful. Thank you for being a friend. So we'll just pop this away. Now, I'm going to glue this straight into the center of this before I start getting into building up the mechanism. So I've cut this so that it should fit quite neatly inside here. So on we go. Just a little bit of liquid glue. You could decorate this. You could go absolutely crazy decorating this. I haven't done a real lot with it, but it actually looks really lovely when it's finished. I mean, I've laid it all out and I think it will look lovely. So there's our beautiful piece of designer series paper. Here is our sentiment. Now, if you want to write anything, you of course can write on the back of the card. You can pop a piece of basic white on the back there if it's a dark cardstock. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that this is down as low as the top of this first one. So I want to pop that in there like that so that you can't see it from there. There we go. Okay, so there it is there. Thank you for being a friend. Oh, that's crooked. It's stuck now. Bad luck. Okay, so it's a simple case of putting the appropriate designer series paper panels onto the appropriate cardstock panels. So I thought I would put the alternate side on the middle ones. So I'll glue that on. Just pretend that was straight. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Uh-oh. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Oh, my goodness. Hang on. Ugh. Yep. Luckily, we're going to be putting a flower or something on there, so hopefully that won't matter. I meant to put the glue on this side. See, it's just too pretty to cover up. My subconscious wouldn't let me. It's just a typical video for me, actually, with losing things and gluing them on the wrong side. But, you know, it is what it is. And, yeah. So we'll do the second one. Now I've used, when this card is finished, I've used 3 different designs and they coordinate so perfectly because they've come from the same card pack. So I've done those. Now I will do these on this side, on the beautiful side. And I mean, they're both beautiful sides. I love these beautiful watercolor washes, to be honest. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to decide which side you want to use and which side, is going to be covered up. Now, I wanted to also talk to you guys about another Australian animal, and I promise this is going to be extremely quick. I'm going to just stop what I'm doing here for 2 seconds because I've got some information about the wonderful platypus, the Australian platypus. Now, I've got some photos here. I don't know if you've ever seen a platypus. Now, when Europeans first saw platypus, they thought it was a joke. Like, it's got like legs like a duck at the front. They're webbed feet. It's got a broad, flat tail like a beaver. It's got a bill on the front of its face like a duck. It has no external ears. It's covered in fur, and it swims like an otter or a beaver. But the thing is, this little animal, and they're only little, they're only about 20 inches or 50 centimetres, up to 50 centimetres or 20 inches long. And they only weigh about 2.5 kilos or up to 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Now, they the fur itself is like water resistant. This bill or beak is kind of like soft, like leathery skin. So you can imagine the Europeans first seeing this animal, and they did send like a preserved animal back to England, and they thought it was a joke. They thought somebody had taken the body of a mole, sewn a duck's beak on it, put an otter's, a beaver's tail on it, and they just thought it was incredible. Now, these little things eat worms, they eat larvae, they eat freshwater shrimp and yabbies, and they don't see them. In this little bill of theirs is electrosensors, electrolocators, and they can sense where these animals are, even if they're under the soft sand, etc. Now, this little guy here was a little baby, and he was found stuck in a whirlpool in a rock crevice sort of thing, and he was getting bashed about, and these guys rescued him, so that was really lovely. This one here is a very rare thing indeed. This is an albino. Now, this was discovered only last year in New South Wales by a team of scientific researchers, and they found him alive and well, and they were from the University of New England. So, yeah, they're so unusual. People don't realise how unusual they are. Like 50 centimetres, like that's like the size of a cat sort of thing. Now, the other thing is, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, they lay eggs. They lay eggs. And the only other living relative to the platypus is the echidna, and that is the spiny anteater that I showed you earlier in one of these things. Now, they're very important culturally to some Aboriginal tribes. They're found only in Australia, but they seem to be all down the east coast from what I can gather. They're the state emblem for New South Wales. They're on our money, and they have been like national mascots, in sporting things like that. Now, the natural predators are like dingoes, snakes, water rats, birds of prey like eagles, the occasional crocodile, depending how far up they are into northern Queensland. But things like foxes, introduced species like foxes and wild cats, wild dogs, they're sort of like, I'm not so much about the cats, but anyway, I think that they're not on the endangered list, but they're on the borderline. Now, the other thing is that the males have a spur on their back leg, and it can actually inject some pretty nasty venom. Now, it won't kill you, but you will not be a happy chappy if that ever happens to you. But that is a form of defense for these beautiful little animals. So yeah, protection is vital for these. These are nowhere else in the world. Nowhere else in the world. So if they disappear, they're gone forever. So echidnas and platypus are the only two monotremes, which are mammals that lay eggs, warm-blooded animals, and egg layers. Yeah. Anyway, that's the platypus. Okay, I managed to fit that in. Okay, so back to where we were. Where were we? Okay, so I've glued all of these pieces on here, and now we can just assemble this. So what you need to do is to take this piece here, and this is going to be glued on the inside of here. Now you'll see it's the same size. So if you can think same size, then you can't go too wrong. I could have put that up a little bit. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, not the first one, but the second one, I'm going to put some glue. And this is going this way, okay? It's going up against this fold here. So again, if you want to make sure that that is perfectly lined up by standing that up, then that's the way to go, I think. So that's going to be folded in there like that, okay? And then this little piece, I can hear what you're saying. You're saying, okay, yep, so that goes on there like that. Yep, and you'd be right. Okay, don't glue it on like that, because that is not going to work. So you want to do the same thing. You want to open this out, not this one, but this one. Okay, we're going to put some glue on here. Just like that. This one is going to go on here. Again, you want to make sure that that is lined up. Okay. And that is going to close just like that. Now you can see how cutting these on the angle has given it just a little bit of extra. I mean, it looks nice. It looks like it's finished off properly. So we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll open this out. We'll pop a bit of glue, not on this one, not on the one there, this one here, okay? And we're putting the plain panel in here like this. And again, you want to line that up with the bottom and the side. You want to make sure that that's even. And then this one will go on here as well. Again, not this one, but this one. And you want to lay it edge to edge. Okay. And just give that a nice line up. And we're nearly finished, Okay, so that's that. Now, with these two very plain pieces, I thought I would put just a couple of flowers on there. What do you think? Given that I just glued all of this by accident, I think we must. Oh, I'm probably going to make a mess. Oh no, that looks okay. This is just an eraser. Just one of those plastic erasers. Okay, let's have a look. I think that should be okay. I think if we pop that on there, we can rub any other bits off. And I just cut these out of the paper, out of the beautiful paper. I just fussy cut them. There weren't any leaves, so I fussy cut some leaves out and just glued them on the back of this one. Now, you don't want to put these up on dimensionals because you've already got quite a few layers happening here, and it's never going to fit in the envelope if you start adding to the thickness. But there we go. Now I want to show you how this stands up. I mean, I know you're thinking, yeah, I know how it stands up, but I think it looks really nice if you kind of pull it right out. It's almost like one of those theatre cards, I think they're called. So there we go. Now in hindsight, I would have put that in straight and I would have put it up so that this piece covers it. So when it's in the envelope, it folds in like this. Okay, so it's in the envelope like that. When you pull it out, stand it like this. Now you can actually have this going around. Now on the mantelpiece, that is almost like panoramic view. I mean, you could of course just pop it like that, but when you have them going at an angle, it just even looks nicer. So yeah, that's a bit hard to show on here. So it kind of looks like that a bit. Kind of looks like that if you have it on the angle. But anyway, I thought that was lovely, and it just closes up like that. Now I think Frenchie did actually put a belly band on it. I mean, of course you could do that if you wanted to. I just wanted to show you that that fits perfectly in a standard envelope. Here is where you can write your details, your you know, your message, and it fits really well into a standard envelope. Admittedly, it's a little bit thicker than a normal card, but not that much. Not that much really when you look at it from above. And when they open that, it's just so special, and it's just going to pop out like that. So please let me know what you think about that. Now, I hope you're enjoying the series on the card sketches. I hope that you're enjoying the animals that I'm bringing to you. And of course, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial that is actually the main part of this YouTube channel. But if you feel as though you'd like to donate and support our Australian animals, who better than my nephew, Duncan? And that is Duncan right there. And they run the Cunnamulla Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre in Tasmania. The details to donate will be down the bottom in the description. There is my store. There is my email if you'd like to contact me for any reason. If you'd like a copy of the beautiful templates that I offer free, the PDF for the US and the metric size templates, email me requesting that. And give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe. And if you could, share this video, and let's get this card making business out there, because it's such a lovely hobby. Please do let me know in the comments what you think about this beautiful card. Thank you so much to Frenchie. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if it's her original, but I saw it and I went, oh, that looks really complicated. But it wasn't. At the end of the day, if you follow the project sheet measurements, either from Frenchie or from me, you won't be in any sort of trouble. But let me know. So thank you so much for sharing another night with me, and I'll see you guys all on Sunday. And please take care and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.